This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberta on the Seattle Sportscentre presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And yeah, we're looking a little different today because I'm on the red carpet for the Canadian Screen Awards ahead of the show. It's official for just the 5th time in the expansion era. We've got a rematch in the Stanley Cup final. After getting the job done Thursday night in Dallas, the Edmonton Oilers have secured another date in the final against the Florida Panthers. While it's the same matchup as a year ago, there's a few big differences this time around. For one, both Florida and Edmonton have made changes to the roster, with the Panthers having made some pretty significant moves, as they moved on from names like Brandon Montour and Vladimir Tarasenko. However, they've replaced them with players like Seth Jones and Brad Marchand. And considering how dominant Marchand has been, let alone all their other additions, it's safe to say the Panthers have improved from a season ago. I mean, the second they got Marchand, I figured this team was making a run, so here we go. The Oilers have also made some roster changes, but not quite like the Panthers, as they mostly swapped out depth pieces and have kept the core almost identical. But the team will look different due to injuries, and that's because Zach Hyman will miss the Stanley Cup final after having season-ending surgery, which is a huge blow for Edmonton, as Hyman has been a big contributor this postseason. And he was a huge reason why the Oilers were able to push last year's final to 7 games. But there's one big difference that favors Edmonton, and that is home ice advantage. By finishing 3 points ahead of Florida in the regular season, the Oilers would get a potential Game 7 at home if the finals were to go all the way. And that's especially important for Edmonton, as in their franchise history, they've been a lot better in Game 7s at home versus on the road. And if the series ends up being as close as it was last year, the extra home ice advantage can make all the difference. Time now for the Big Play Replay presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. There's really only one place we can go for this one. A remarkable solo effort by none other than Connor McDavid in Game 5.
It's not been the smoothest of games for Granlund, who's been, look out.
It's McDavid. Hintz trying to catch him. McDavid scores! The breakaway goal for Connor McDavid.
Watch how quickly McDavid turns, and he can go. Now, Hintz can really go too, but McDavid's speed freezes Casey DeSmith. What a critical goal for Connor McDavid.
McJesus doing McJesus things. This guy's on a roll. McDavid also became the second fastest player ever to hit 100 playoff assists last night, behind none other than Wayne Gretzky. We are joined now by a very special guest, our F1 guy, Tim Harady. What's up, Tim?
Hey, Marissa, how's it going?
I mean, it's going. I'm looking a little different today, hey, buddy? So, Tim, heading into Spain this week, the FIA is applying tighter restrictions when it comes to the flexibility of the front wings. We've had some mixed reaction from the teams. What are you hearing about the situation?
Yeah, so this flexi wing clampdown, this is a new directive, technical directive that's been issued by the FIA for the Spanish Grand Prix moving forward as well. The teams have known that it was coming, though, since the winter time, and you'll see for this weekend a lot of teams bringing a new front wing to the car, some teams making adjustments maybe to their rear wings, as well as the FIA has brought in a new testing system to test the flexion or deflection of the front and the rear wing as well. Now, the question is that who is this going to affect? Some teams think it's really going to affect McLaren, as it appears that their car does have the most flexion in their front and rear wing, like we saw at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in 2024. But there are teams that people think it could help, like Ferrari. A lot of people seem to think that Ferrari's front wing is a little more rigid. It doesn't flex as much. Mercedes could be hampered by this because they've been working on flexi wings now for the past little while, and the other team obviously being McLaren. But the main thing is we're really not going to know who this is going to affect truly until we get a few more races into the schedule and we really start to see the data on who this is actually affecting.
Okay, Tim, there's been a lot of talk surrounding the future of Max Verstappen and Red Bull, but it sounds like he's set to trigger a contract clause, keeping him there through next season?
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors swirling around whether or not Max Verstappen is going to stay at Red Bull Racing for 2026. He does have a contract with them until 2028. However, there have been a lot of rumors about his out clause, and some of those rumors seem to point to if Max wasn't in the top 2 in the Drivers' Championship standings by the summer break, that he could trigger that out clause in his contract. But Motorsport.com actually reported this, that if he wasn't in the top 4 in the Drivers' Championship standings by Austria, which is towards the end of June, that Max couldn't trigger that out clause in his contract. Right now, he's third in the championship, and he looks right in this battle, Marissa, for this driver's title. He's not too far back of championship leader Oscar Piastri right now coming into the Spanish Grand Prix. And I think for Max, the main thing is trying to obviously get to grips with this championship and try and win this one. But what does the future hold for Red Bull Racing? And as a driver and in Max Verstappen, that's definitely what he's thinking for the future.
Thanks as always, Tim.
All right, thanks very much for having me, Marissa. Really appreciate it. And thanks to producer Mike as well.
You can catch all the F1 action on TSN Sunday. It's a Spanish Grand Prix, and we've got you covered. It's a big night for the Memorial Cup, as the London Knights and Moncton Wildcats will play for a spot in the final on Sunday. And if it's anything the first meeting between these two teams in the opener, we are in for a treat. Sam O'Reilly scored the overtime winner for the Knights, so how can Moncton avenge their loss and punch their ticket to the final? For starters, they're getting the best out of their goaltender, Matthias Rusto. The Wildcat goalie comes into this one leading the tournament in save percentage and sits third in goals against average. And it looks like their scoring is getting hot at the right moment. Heading into their do-or-die game against Rimouski, only 2 defensemen have scored their 3 goals through 2 games. But in their last game, 5 different forwards scored. A total of 13 points were registered by Wildcats forwards. While on the flip side, the Knights look to make the finals in back-to-back years. Despite the loss last year, there are some familiar faces. That includes Easton Cowan, who leads all Knights players with 4 points in 3 games. And I feel like his success is due in part to me interviewing him earlier this playoff season, so you're welcome. And you can catch the action right here on TSN 105, with puck drop coming your way at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Time now for my favorite segment and yours, that we love sports today.
Why we love sports today.
We all know graduation day is a big day. It could also be the last of certain things. The last time you see so many people you've met along the way. Or in this case, the last time you get to throw a touchdown pass. Maybe. I've never seen a better graduation Sally, honestly. That's it for me today. We'll see you right back here Monday. Well, not here, but back at our home base. See you then.